Hello and welcome to book number 4 on numismatic book reviews. Last week I covered collector's coins of Great Britain by Chris Henry Perkins, published by Rotographics. This week I'm covering their decimal equivalent. It's collector's coins, decimal issues of United Kingdom, 1968 to 2014. The first thing I'm going to do is start with my complaint about this book, which is that it doesn't cover decimal issues which predate decimalisation. I know that they're all covered in their other book, just the general collector's coins of Great Britain for the pre-decimal issues, the 1760 to 1970. But I think it would be good to have that sort of information in here because I think that should be very interesting to collectors of decimal coins. But I can understand their desire to not want to publish basically the same thing twice over. The book, £7.35, I'm guessing it's a little bit more for an up-to-date edition. This is, I think I got this in 2015, so it's like 4 years out of date now. Will I be buying a more up-to-date one recently? Nah, not really. Very rarely use this book if I'm honest with you. I've got a fairly good idea as to what prices are for certain things that I'm after, and I think there's probably more accurate information for decimal coins in another guide called Coin Yearbook, which I will be covering probably in my next video. The information in here, I think it tends to be a little bit conservative, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Being conservative when it comes to money is probably a good idea, but you know, accuracy is always very hard. I mean, the moment you print a price guide, the information is technically out of date, so you're only looking at the previous year. You've got the same sort of layout with this guide as with their pre-decimal coins, where you've got the tables of data, has got the coloured bands going across it so that you don't confuse data between different rows. I find this incredibly useful and I like that. Images aren't fantastic, but they're good enough. It gets the job done. You don't have as much variety information for decimal coins, and certainly no variety pricing really. There's a little bit, but not a great deal. The reason for this, I think, is that there's not a huge amount of information published, or at least what has been published has been, you know, it's quite hard to get hold of, so it's not commonly used by collectors. But I think that will change. I want to make that different. So yeah, this is a cracking little book for a decimal collector. If you're not really into decimal, or you don't get a great deal of decimal coins to sell on or anything like that, then it's not really for you. It's a cheap book. I wouldn't buy a copy every year, even if I was into decimal coins as my sole area of collecting. I think every now and again getting a copy is a good idea, but if I see a second-hand copy which is more current than this, then I'll buy it. Second-hand price guides, yeah, you can pick them up for a couple of quid. It's very cheap and it will get the job done. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, please feel free to pop them in the comments area below and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching. If you like, please give me a thumbs up. If you dislike, then please give me a thumbs down, I suppose. Cheerio, goodbye.